there, this is Karen. Welcome to another dolallycrafts Friday Frenzy. This week I'm using the delightful Daisy paper pack again. This is a new one that will be available to customers as of the 1st of June. Absolutely gorgeous. This is the card that we're making today. Very simple, but lots of layers. Okay. Let's start. I've got everything pre-cut. All of the measurements can be found on my blog. Complete right down to these half pieces and these tiny pieces. So everything you need can be found on my blog right now. Okay, so to start off with, we need to... I'm getting a bit confused here. I've planned half a dozen cards today, so I've got them all set out around my desk. Ready to go, ready for filming. So if I seem a bit confused, it's because I've got so many different things going around in my head at the moment. Okay, so we'll bring in this piece first. Sorry, I'm waiting on new blades for my cutter, so I've got a case of the fuzzies going on at the moment. Okay, so first we'll come in and put some snail on this piece, which is the 1 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of paper, and I'm just going to bring my bone folder in to make sure it's nicely attached there. And then what I'm going to do is bring in, oh, I didn't even tell you what stamp set I'm using. Once again, it's the Daisy Delight, but I'm not using the large daisy this time. I'm using the saying here, and I'm using some of these smaller images to create a focal point. So we'll bring in this nice thin piece of Whisper White, and with the Tranquil Tide, which is our new 2017 to 29 ink colour, I'm going to line this up here and then just pop For Your Kindness along the edge there. Pop that to the side for a moment, and then I'm going to bring in the snail and just put a line of it down there, and then line that up along the Whisper White piece, like so. And then we'll just trim that little piece off down the bottom. Actually, that's not exactly straight. There we go. Okay, now put some more snail on the back and also along the back of the Whisper White. It does come together quite easily once you've got all your pieces trimmed out. Okay, so we'll stick that there. Make sure we've got those pieces even. And if you hear any noise in the background, I have my in-laws here while their house is being renovated, so the background noise could get a bit noisy with the family all here at the moment. Okay, so that's the base layer of our card. Now we're going to bring in these two pieces of Whisper White. The first one I'm going to stamp once again with the Tranquil Tide, but I'm going to use the large Thank You from the Daisy Delight stamp set, and I'm just going to pop that over to the right-hand side of the screen. Beautifully stamped, absolutely gorgeous font this, because we're going to flag the end of it. Now just smooth those edges, and I'm going to pop that to the side to dry. Now hopefully it's not going to get lost amongst everything else that's around my desk. Okay, now with this piece we're going to do a bit of fun stamping around the edge. Now I've got a scrap of paper here which I need to pop about there, and then come in with Old Olive and these twig pieces. So I'm going to do one fairly high there, and then one a bit lower, and these are for the lavender pieces. Now I'm going to come in with the other branch which has the daisies, so we'll do a nice tall one there, and then a slightly shorter one here. There we go. So pop the, oh, I better not pop those aside. I'm going to flip this upside down and then do this upside. Just bring in another piece of, try and keep the layering paper that I'm on, or the pad I'm on, a bit clean. So we'll bring these pieces in, and I'm just going to pop some extra lines so it actually looks like these pieces, or these twigs up here, are going to extend below the greeting or below the sentiment. So bring that back in. That one will be about there, and that one about there. Okay, and then our greeting or sentiment will go across the middle of that. So I'll pop those over there, and then get rid of the old olive out of the way, and then bring in our Wisteria Wonder for the lavender pieces. And I've just got to find, I've got everything sort of all over the back of the desk here, all set up and ready to go. So here we go, we've got our thin lavender pieces, and I might get my head in the way here while I'm trying to line them up. I'll try not to, but here we go. That's one. Two. So there's our lavender. And I'm going to come in with Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to actually stamp off with the full colour, and then do a second generation stamping for both of the flowers like that, and then come in and do the straight stamping of the details for these daisies, like so. There we go. And then we will come back in with the little daisy heads that are going to go down the stems. And another one. There we go. Now that is all of the stamping done for this card. As you can see, I'm just going to straighten the edge of the card out there, and then I'm going to bring in a piece of the Tranquil Tide cardstock and pop our focal point straight on. And it's only got it's got a bit bigger border than the other one, but it's still a narrow border. I might actually trim that off just a little bit on this side. There we go, that's a bit neater. Okay, so that's going to sit just there. Oh, okay. If I pop that where it's supposed to go, it's actually going to cover over for your kindness. I wonder if I can take this apart. Yes, because I haven't pressed it down and it hasn't really had time to set. So what I'm going to do is trim down that side which brings that a bit closer. It's still going to be too wide though. Oh well, nothing like altering stuff on the run, is there? Okay. I've actually tugged the paper, the cardstock there a bit and taken a layer or two off, but that's okay. That will be where our sentiment goes. Now that is going to have to line up for under your kindness. I've got to trim that a little bit more. I'm still not happy with that. Okay, welcome back. As you can see, I redid the card and I've overcompensated now, but never mind, it'll still look really nice and it will still end up looking very similar to this one. So, okay, I'm still using the rejigged focal point. So now what we have to do is give this a quick flagging. There we go. Just for those who don't have punches that can do it, I figured I'd show you how to do a really quick one that way. We're going to pop some snail onto the back of the Whisper White and pop this across there like so. There we go. So there's most of our flagging done, or most of our banner done. Just finish off by flagging the old olive piece, as you can see, and then I'm going to bring in some dimensionals just to pop, whoops, this piece up. So 3 across this piece, 1 at either end and 1 in the middle. Give those a really good press down to make sure they're sticking, and then off with the back. Now I'm just going to put this piece on here just for placement so I know where it's going, and I'm trying to match up these 3 pieces of the patterned paper, these 3 edges of patterned paper, to make sure I've got those even, and then this is going to line up with the edge of the card. No, what I'm going to have to do is pop this down anyway. So we'll use up the rest of the dimensionals. And that one doesn't want to come off my finger. And then just the half piece in the middle. So I'll peel all of these off and we will pop okay, so approximately the middle there, I think I've got that right, and then bring this piece in and we line it up with the edge of the card, bring it down just a little bit. So what I will do is just trim one tiny piece off the edge there and just lift that. Oop. Lift that and pop it underneath. Oop. There we go, and that will give it, I didn't need to peel the backing off, it's just for support. So almost finished now. Basic jewels. I'm running out and I can't replace them because these are going to be discontinued and a new version of them brought into the new catalogue. So there's just 3 there, like so, and then another 3 just down here, and that's mainly to bring the eye up to the For Your Kindness on the front there. So there we go. The original, and there's the one I've just made now. I hope you've enjoyed this Friday Frenzy. I'm sorry about the stuff up in the middle. As you can see, I used the wrong colour there. I thought I was using Tranquil Tide when I put it together, and it turned out I was using Dapper Denim. So we've got the Tranquil Tide there. So we've got like 3 different tones of a green, because I consider Pool Party to be on the spectrum of the blue-green. So they all tie in really well. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed today and you'll join me again next week. Have a great weekend and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.